Picture this, a Canadian dealership. Spring 2026. The SUV in front of you is boxy, almost 5 meters long, wearing a roof-mounted drone and a 26-inch heads-up display. Back in China, this vehicle is outselling the Tesla Model Y. And a year ago, a 100% tariff wall would have made this scene impossible. In January 2026, that wall came down in a single morning. So here's the question this video exists to answer. Is the BYD Fangchengbao Titanium 7 actually confirmed for Canada? Or are we watching the industry tell a story that hasn't fully been written yet? Let's break down what's real, what's hype, and what every Canadian driver should actually be paying attention to right now. And if tracking which Chinese EVs actually make it to Canadian roads is your thing, the subscribe button's right there. This channel lives for this story. On January 16, 2026, Prime Minister Mark Carney stood in Beijing and reversed 2 years of Canadian trade policy in a single announcement. The 100% surtax on Chinese electric vehicles, imposed in October 2024, was being slashed to 6.1%. Up to 49,000 Chinese-built EVs per year would be allowed into the country at that reduced rate, with the quota climbing to 70,000 over 5 years. In exchange, China agreed to cut its own 84% tariff on Canadian canola seed down to about 15%. It was a Farm Belt negotiation with an automotive earthquake attached to it. And when the effective date hit March 1st, 2026, a door that had been bolted shut for Chinese automakers swung open. BYD was standing right behind it. To understand why the Titanium 7 matters in this moment, you have to understand what it already is back home. This isn't a vehicle hoping to find an audience. In China, it found one almost instantly. The TI-7 launched on September 9, 2025, with a starting price of 179,800 yuan, roughly 25,000 US dollars. Within 80 days, it had sold 50,152 units. That made it the fastest box-style SUV ever to reach 50,000 sales in China, and the second fastest new energy model of any shape to hit that milestone. By November 2025, it was moving more than 24,000 units in a single month, enough to push its parent sub-brand past XPeng and into the top 4 of China's new energy startup rankings. Numbers like these don't happen by accident. So what is the Titanium 7 physically? It's a mid to large 5-seat SUV sized close to a Toyota Prado, just under 5 meters long, almost 2 meters wide, on a 2,920mm wheelbase. But where the Prado is a body-on-frame off-roader, the TI-7 is a unibody crossover with off-road styling. The silhouette is deliberately blocky. Upright windshield, square shoulders, rectangular headlights with double L light signatures. A swing-out tailgate with an integrated storage box. There's no hidden spare tire, no pretension toward coupe styling. It looks like something that means business. Inside, the cabin stretches 3.3 meters front to rear with 45 separate storage compartments and 970 liters of cargo room, expanding to nearly 1,900 liters with the seats folded. It's a big family SUV that happens to run on a modern electric platform. Here's where the story gets more complicated. The Titanium 7 is actually 2 different vehicles wearing the same body. The version that launched in September 2025 is a plug-in hybrid pairing a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 1 or 2 electric motors and a lithium iron phosphate blade battery. The rear-drive versions make 268 horsepower from the electric motor alone. The top all-wheel drive Ultra trim combines front and rear motors for a combined system output of around 360 kilowatts, launches from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.5 seconds. And when you add a full tank of fuel to its 35.6 kilowatt-hour battery, offers a total driving range of roughly 1,300 kilometers. For winter Canada, for remote highways, For the stretches where charging infrastructure thins out, that combined range is not a gimmick. It's the entire argument for the vehicle. But if you thought that was the headline, the real twist landed in February 2026. A Ministry of Industry filing in China revealed a fully battery-electric version of the Ti7, built with BYD's second-generation Blade battery. The electric Ti7 comes in two flavors. The rear-drive version produces 300 kilowatts, that's 402 horsepower, and delivers 755 kilometers of range on the CLTC cycle. The all-wheel drive version produces 515 kilowatts, or 691 horsepower, and tops out at 240 kilometers per hour. Then there's the part that stops you cold. BYD demonstrated that the new Blade battery, paired with their megawatt-class flash charging stations, can recharge the Ti7 from 10% to 97% in roughly 9 minutes. Coffee break charging? The catch, and this is important, those megawatt chargers don't exist in Canada yet. On current Canadian fast-charging infrastructure, you'd be looking at much longer times. The technology is real. The infrastructure to use it isn't here. And I haven't even gotten to the interior yet. In higher trims, the Titanium 7 ships with a 15.6-inch central touchscreen, a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, a 26-inch windshield heads-up display, 13-inch tablets mounted in the backs of the front seats, and a 20-speaker Deviolette sound system. There's a 4.5-liter heated and cooled refrigerator built into the console. And the top-spec Ultra trim includes something no competitor in the Canadian market offers at any price: a roof-mounted drone that docks into the vehicle itself, capable of autonomous takeoff and landing at speeds up to 25 kilometers per hour. It's designed to film you driving from above, from your own car, while you're still moving. Whatever you think of that feature, it tells you something about how aggressively this brand is willing to over-deliver on equipment at the price. Now, the part the title asks about, is this actually confirmed for Canada? Short answer, no, not officially. BYD has not publicly named the Titanium 7 in a Canadian launch lineup. Outside China, the Fangchengbao brand is typically rebadged as Denza, and the Ti7 made its first international appearance not in Toronto, but at the Bangkok Motor Show in 2025. What we have so far are strong signals, not press releases. But here's the detail that shifts the picture. BYD is already on Transport Canada's Appendix G registry, the regulatory list that allows an automaker to certify vehicles against Canadian motor vehicle safety standards. Transport Canada quietly paused new Appendix G applications for passenger vehicles in 2025, giving BYD a genuine head start. And the Canada-China trade deal includes a commitment from Transport Canada to approve new Chinese EV models within 8 weeks. So BYD has the regulatory door, the tariff relief, an active quota, and a vehicle already breaking sales records in its home market. The question is no longer whether vehicles like the Ti7 reach Canadian dealerships. The question is which ones and how fast. And that's what makes this moment so strange to sit inside. For 2 years, Canadian buyers watched from behind a 100% tariff, while the rest of the world argued about whether Chinese EVs were any good. In those same 2 years, BYD designed, engineered, launched, and scaled the Ti7 to 50,000 sales in under 3 months. A Blade battery that handles cold weather better than most alternative chemistries. All-wheel drive, hybrid range that solves the winter anxiety problem. A fully electric version now stacked behind it. The tariff wall came down in January. The quota opened in March. The vehicles best positioned to fit that opening are already circling. Whether the Ti7 lands first or whether it arrives behind smaller, cheaper Chinese models aimed at the sub-$35,000 segment the Canadian government wants prioritized, the landscape has already shifted. A Canadian EV market that for years was defined by American, Japanese, European, and Korean choices is about to include a fifth option that didn't exist on dealer lots a year ago. So here's the real question. If a 5-meter, 691 horsepower, 7-screen, drone-equipped electric SUV with 755 kilometers of range shows up at a Canadian dealership next year at a price that undercuts the Toyota, the Ford, and the Hyundai parked beside it, would you even walk in? Or does the badge on the hood still matter more than the numbers on the window sticker? Tell me in the comments, because that answer is going to get written out across Canadian roads over the next decade, one driver at a time. And if you want to see how the rest of this story unfolds as the first Chinese EVs actually start landing at Canadian ports, the subscribe button is right below. This isn't the end of the story. It's the opening chapter.